Okay. Hi, I'm Mary Cacciapaglia, and today we're going to talk all about our experiences with other experiencer friends about contact. So let me bring them all on stage. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, that's great. Is everybody recovered?
Mostly.
No, yet.
Almost.
Almost. So good to see everybody a week later.
Yeah. My Aura ring said I was 10 hours behind on sleep when I got home.
I believe it. So how we're gonna do this, because there's so many of us, is we're going to let everybody talk about, what they thought about contact and their experience and stuff. And then at the end, Steve and I will say what our experience was. So why don't we go ahead and chat with the person who is in practically all of my pictures. Who would that be, Susan?
Oh, me. I love that. That would be cool too.
So tell us what you thought.
It's too big for words. It was the most fun I've had in a long time. And I loved the conversations, and I loved the energy in the room and outside and everywhere.
What was your favorite part?
Oh my goodness, that's so hard to say. I just really loved listening to Kelly Chase, and I loved sitting outside with CJ, and then I loved sitting in the lobby with you and Steve. It was so wonderful, and just meeting people like Caroline. We have some great pictures together, and because I know her from the chats, and she always says such positive things, so it's wonderful to to meet that. And then there was Deborah Jordan, Kauble, my Kathy Davis. That was my perfect 360 moment. Just meeting you. You're alive and well. I'm alive and well, and after all these years we meet. Who would have thunk it? It blew me away. So you can hear.
Great. And for the first time on a live stream, we have Carolyn all the way from what I call back east. And she is, you all know her as Flea Market. So let us, that was a big experience for you. Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, that was kind of a throw my hat over the fence moment, because I haven't gone on a solo trip like that, and I haven't flown in 25 years. So it was it just something I felt compelled to do, and I'm so glad I did. It was so nice to meet everyone in person. I wasn't prepared for the pace. I felt like I was back in college, just like having to get to the next lecture, and I don't have time to use the bathroom or grab something to eat. And then we're talking to people outside, which was wonderful. It's like just everyone's a kindred spirit, and the energy was really great. It felt like a couple different spheres colliding as a whole. But
I hear ya.
I felt overall it was good energy. Yeah. It's good to see everybody.
Yeah.
And what stood out to you most?
I really enjoyed listening to Josh Cutchins and Danny Goler. Whitley's were really good, especially the one on Monday, where he shared the note from that his son wrote. It was just that stuck with me. And ironically, I'm reading his new book, and he has that in the book, and I was just going over it the night before, and I didn't realize that was going to be coming up in the thing. So it was really cool.
Was there anything that was unexpected that stood out?
Not off the top of my head. I didn't really know what to expect, so I kind of I tried not to anticipate, just because I've never been to a large convention before, but it was, I mean, there was just a point until probably the end of the first day where it was kind of like I wasn't really sure, how to get in the mix. But then it just, like once you start talking to a couple of people, and it just kind of snowballs from there. And seeing,
Cool.
you and Steve was really nice, just to see some familiar faces walking in the door too. It was good to
Great.
see Nova. What a
Yeah.
sweet dog.
Thank you. Okay, Erin, would you like to go next?
Sure. This is my third time at Contact, and this time was different than the times before. The energy was through the roof. I guess, I don't know, to me, it seemed like there was twice as many people this year. There was just so many people. I couldn't get over it. For me, the best part was meeting Mary and Steve in person
Aw.
and getting the opportunity to sit down for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes and just like lean over the arm of the couch and talk to you. That was wonderful. And then going to, yeah, that was great. Yeah. And then, meeting Nova. Nova's just awesome. And then getting to sit next to Deb Kauble at dinner and just lean over and talk to her about, the similarities in our health path. And, Kim was at that dinner too. And it didn't even register with me that she was a person that I really wanted to talk to in person. But it is what it is. Because what she had said on a previous meetup that we had really struck me. And I recognized some of the faces, but I just couldn't click with who was who. Because there was just so many faces. Whoops, there goes my dogs. And like Carolyn on Monday, Whitley Strieber's intensive was intense. It just really was. And then, Lucinda going up and talking about her mission for experiencers, that really got to me because I do a women's circle in my healing space. I'm going to have one there this Sunday. And the way that Lucy was talking about the circle of experiencers just so meshed with like my beliefs. And it was just those moments. I think the personal moments were the most important to me there. And I'm glad I went this year. It was really tough physically for me, but I went, and it's going to be my last one.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you guys can hear my dryer across the mudroom, I apologize. I don't know how loud that is. That's what it is.
I can't hear it.
Okay, good.
Then we lose our hosts.
Oh my.
I think we
They'll be
did.
back.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hey.
Carolyn, I'm like Erin when I see people out of context, unless I've met them physically, I can look at them and not place them, or I'm pretty bad with that. But I was on the elevator and a blonde was coming in. How tall are you?
Oh, 5'3".
I was thinking, oh,
Be nice.
She looked up and she said, Kim. And then she just looked down and I'm like, did she mean me? Or like, and I was thinking, well, maybe it was somebody that just saw me on the show, or I don't know. And then Erin, I was kind of looking around, but there was the guy from North Carolina, and I have another friend, and he told a story about being, when he was a kid, floating him down the stairs, like teaching him how to fly down. And that guy told the same story. My friend's from the UK, he's from North Carolina. And I was like, it's always amazing what you hear. You just keep hearing similar things. I had another lady with 5-foot mice that I'll probably regress later. But yeah. And of course, seeing Steve and Mary was really, really great.
Yeah, they were so warm, and I really appreciated that. Just I don't ever. I feel like sometimes I don't know how much space to give folks. Like first meeting them, and I didn't want to just hover, but they invited me to hang out, and it was really nice getting to meet Susan. And you're just such a bubbly personality. That was just delightful. Um, I'm already planning for next year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to tell you, Caroline, next year it'll be so much easier because you know where everybody meets and greets. And did you make it after dark outside around the fire pits and all the little quiet little nooks and crannies in the bushes, kind of?
I mean, I mixed a little bit, but
Be
I
nice.
I was ready to go back to my hotel after probably like 8 or 9.
Okay, so
But
some
I
of the
did catch the
most
sky watch, which was cool.
Oh, yeah. Some of the
Yeah.
most fun part is just stand 10 minutes in a shadow and listen to the amazing, intelligent conversations in every direction. There is something
Hmm.
so grand about that everybody
Wow.
working towards the main mission. Outside is where
Are
I
we
just inside too, but there's a background noise there, like a rumble. Outside at night, it was just fascinating. So next year, that's my tip to you: is go around that right outside the lobby. Wow, wow!
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
fascinated.
Kim, can you go next?
Yeah, we were talking amongst ourselves, but I was trying to figure out if some blonde that got on the elevator and said, "Come," and then she just looked down if that was Carolyn, but I don't know who it was. She might not have even meant me, but I was kind of surprised. But I loved all the consciousness stuff. I loved talking with you guys in the lobby. The first day I was running to the lectures, and then the next day I petered down some, and then by the third day a client was there and we caught up, and it just kept kind of ratcheting down where I was doing more talking to people than actually going to the lectures. But Dean Aliotto's movie with Deb in it, and it had so many people we know, Terry Lovelace, Travis Walton, and that was really well done. I didn't think I'm not sure what I think about that being us from the future, but other than that, who knows, I won't say no to anything, but I enjoyed that. And then the blind people that were trained to see, with their other senses, and they were demonstrating it. The one guy took his eyes out because they'd been out since he was 6. And that was pretty fascinating. They're doing it like they're saying, oh, it's the new Psy games. But I used to play Psy games online with Dean Radin from the Noetic Sciences. But they were more just online stuff. But I think that's really neat that it's helping people tap into their own abilities. And then they had Deb chained to the book table, so I would see her in passing. But there's never enough time to talk to everybody. I didn't even see CJ. I don't think I saw Susan, Carolyn. I mean, we were just passing in the night.
Everybody, even people I hadn't met, just they felt like, like, God, this sounds corny. Like friends you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
We should cross stitch that on a throw pillow. But it was just everybody was just so open and present.
Yeah. I met a few people, experiencers. It was their first time, and they were just saying how they couldn't talk to anybody in their lives about this stuff, and then they were cautious at first, and then it was just like amazing to be able to just talk freely. And I thought, how sad is that? You'd think we're past that by now, but we're getting there.
Making
Yeah.
progress.
Just about everybody that I sat at the banquet tables in the, where the food was, almost all of them were first timers.
Oh, wow.
And I can relate to, they were just like so relieved to have
That's fun.
somebody, authenticate their experiences, or they had never had an experience and they were like blown away when I was sharing my experiences with them. And so it was really good to play host and be teachers to some of them.
Yeah.
That was the important part there.
Yeah, that is so good. I know. And I keep saying, Deb, she's like the OG, from like waking everybody up. And
No.
I don't
Yeah.
know half the
She's a
people.
legend.
She is truly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't planning on going. I'd never been before. I was a newbie too, and I'd never been before, and I wasn't planning on going just a few weeks before that. And
yeah.
my friends all conspired in one way or another to get me there. And I kept thinking to myself, and I spent a lot of time at the book table because part of getting me there was, I was going to help Yvonne with her books. And also she let me send some of my books to her. So my books were on the table too. And
Good.
but I still managed to at least touch base with everybody I wanted to see, even if it was for a little bit. It wasn't long enough, but still, I kept thinking to myself, why am I here, really? I mean, because I never really cared whether I went or not. I mean, I know a lot of the old timers, from way back, and I've heard all the stories and whatnot. And I thought it's great to see everyone. Some people I hadn't seen for a long time, but I kept thinking, why am I here? Why did the universe do this this time? And then when I found out about the movie that Dean was premiering, I honestly forgot that I did it, because it was like 8 years ago, and I literally forgot that I was even in it. So
Yeah.
Dean, when he found out I was going to be there, he's like, well, would you please come and watch the premiere and come up on the stage? Obviously I couldn't say no. Of course I would come and watch and sit up there. But I'll tell you, I figured it out when Susan and when I ran into Mary and Steve and Susan in the lobby, and you jumped up and hugged me and said what you said to me, I had this epiphany that probably for the first time in 40 years, I came to one of these things and it wasn't for anybody else. It was for me. And I'll tell you why. Because for the last 6 months, I would say, I have been just frustrated and fed up with a lot of stuff in ufology and the disclosure stuff from the government and everything else. Just frustrated and ready to tap out. In the words of my friend Lucy, I was just ready to tap out. I've had enough. I have been saying, and I've been telling y'all this stuff for 40 years. And now I'm hearing whistleblowers from the government saying things that me and other people like me said 30 years ago when we got laughed at, because I have a high school diploma and I'm a hairdresser, and they laughed at me and they ignored me. And now all these whistleblowers with all these letters behind their name are telling them the same stuff, and they're listening to them. And I said, I had fat girl energy. You know how it is when I lost 125 pounds and all the dudes that ignored me started sniffing around me and wanted to have my number. And I was like, where were you when I was 120 pounds heavier? Because I'm still me. I had that kind of energy, kind of jaded, right?
Yeah.
When I got to contact, and I was ready to say, I'm done. Don't call me when you figure it out and you realize it. Just leave me alone. Have a nice life. Bye. But when you started a floodgate that weekend, literally, when you said that to me, and I thought, oh my God, I'm here because the universe is telling me, don't give up. You're doing something good.
Yeah.
And all weekend long, women were coming up to me all the time and telling me, thanking me for speaking out, that they had the same situations that I had, but I had a lady roll up to the book table in a wheelchair. Bless her heart. She said she was in her 90s, and she took my hand and she just smiled at me for a minute. And then she said, "Thank you for being brave and telling your story, because I had a baby, but I couldn't tell anybody."
Wow.
And it was like,
Wow.
I get it. I hear it. I hear you. So I really needed to be there, as much for myself and for whatever I'm going to do in the future in this. And so I'm just grateful to the universe, to all the friends who made it happen, and to all of you and
It
everyone.
was so fun to meet you. So fun to meet you guys.
I wish I could have hung out with you in the pool, but I didn't stay at the hotel. I stayed in a condo.
I know. I was at the pool a lot.
I know it looked good too.
Have you gone already, CJ?
I haven't gone. No.
Can you go next?
Sure. I don't. Yeah. So, I mean, I went with I took my family because I went a couple of years ago with Earl and Lisa and was hanging out with them a lot. And I just remember looking at that big old pool and thinking, oh man, my kid's got to come if I come back here. So I brought my kid and my partner, and he got to check out a few lectures on I think he saw Thomas Jane, and then he saw one of the LSD Hynek lectures, and then I think he went to Sleeping Dog or something, and then I just went to I mostly went to experiencer stuff. I checked out experiencer rooms and stuff like that, but mostly I was in the pool having cocktails and appetizers with my kid and like that. But I think that's what this, I guess it can be whatever you want it to be. And for me, it was, someone had said, it can be about contact or contact, meaning like we're contacting each other. For me, that's what it was. It was about the contact with you guys and hanging out and just, and I like getting up in the mornings, and I always have a great time, and I always see someone very cool and amazing, and I go sit in that cafe downstairs as soon as they open from 7 until 9 when the first lectures start, because my husband sleeps in and my kid likes to sleep in later than me, and I just sit there and have coffee and text everybody, I'm awake. Who's awake? Who wants, and someone always joins me, or 2 or 3 people come down and join me. I feel like it should just be where we all go. You can at least just sit and have coffee for $5 and just talk for a little bit in the mornings. There's me and my family having a 2 hours. We waited for him to get some French fries. It was very busy, but you know what? We didn't care. It was very fun.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I say, and we brought our dog too. I mean, it's pretty dog friendly and everything. So I don't know. I loved it, but mostly for me, it was about hanging out and talking to people. And I remembered last time I went that there were all these 90-minute lectures, and I just couldn't last 90 minutes in anything. Like about 20 minutes is about my max before I start getting like, I just got to move and do something. And I would go from one lecture to another lecture and then just sit by the pool for a while. And, I guess it can be whatever you want, because it's almost like like it covers such a wide variety and array of topics and things. Like it's not, like I remember I said to somebody, like, where's all the UFO stuff? Like, honestly, like, there was like just a lot of other stuff involved in there too.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Gaia
stuff, or whatever you want to call, all of the, the crystals and the this and the that, which is like cool for other people. It's just not my thing. That's why I'm out by the pool. And like, it's pretty easy to go to the stuff I want, but I had a great time. And like, I don't know, if you live in the Southwest and you want a UFO convention to go to, I mean, that's the thing to do. Like, I don't know, it's just super fun. I'd sit out there and have breakfast. I remember 2 years ago, Nick Pope was sitting next to me having breakfast. And then during this one, it was Jacques Vallée and his wife were sitting next to me having breakfast. So it's nice in the morning, and you always get to just kind of see people.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll go next. My experience was way different than any of yours. The best thing that happened to me at Contact could have happened any place, because the best thing that happened to me were all of you. And meeting people and having it's so weird when people come up to you and they know you and you don't know them, and to get to hear stories and that was really, really great. We only went to Whitley's lecture, and Nova was an absolute doll. We sat in the front seat, and she sat at our feet, and she slept the entire lecture.
Mm-hmm.
And he even used her, talked about her. So that was the only lecture we
So
went
did I.
to. Yeah, he kind of made fun of Steve, but that was okay because they're friends for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And every people that were experiencers were wonderful, and I just felt so comfortable that way. Some of what a certain person told me, the UFO stars were a few of them were less than gracious. And I was really shocked, but I shouldn't have been. And so I had kind of had a mixed bag. I'm kind of an empath, so I was having these good vibes, and I was having some negative vibes, and they all kind of meshed. So by the time I was done, we spent a lot of time in the lobby. By the time we were done, I was ready to pass out at night. Yeah. And it was different. That's all I can say. Listening to other people, I can't say it was a great time, and I can't say I'd go back. Yeah. But I did apps. And CJ, when she was out by the pool, she says, well, it has to be what you make it. Yeah. And so we did just that. We had a good time mixing and mingling with people. And I was really happy we went for that reason. I wish I was bringing Nova out to go to the bathroom, and Whitley was out there with his assistant, and he didn't stay there. He stayed someplace else. And I was surprised until when we were leaving, and all of a sudden, as we were leaving, someone had pulled the fire alarm.
Oh no.
And Steve couldn't get on the same elevator as me because he had that big old suitcase, and I had the dog and other bags. And so he was left there. The alarm went off. They told us to get off the elevator and go all the way to the back of the hotel to the stairs. This one gentleman brought Melinda, Gwen, and I to the stairs, and we went all the way down. And then to get out of that, we needed a key. And thank God we still had our room key. Wow. And so I felt like, this is a beautiful place, but it kind of feels like Hotel California. So we laughed about that going home. But it was a really mixed bag for us. And so thank you, CJ, for reminding me, life is what you make it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like there's so many things that can happen there. Like you can sit through, like if someone like me goes there and I sit through a bunch of lectures, I'm gonna go, oh, it was so boring. It was just a bunch of lectures. But like, I want to have fun, right? I'm there to have fun for the weekend. Yeah. And like, so that's not what I'm gonna do. So, if CJ
go.
Right. But some people are into that. Right. Some people are like, what I love is back-to-back 90-minute lectures. I love that in a very nice
Not me.
Like sitting inside of a giant sub-zero freezer.
Yes.
Without an adequate jacket, just kind of shivering, trying not. And the cold makes you fall asleep. So I'm always like,
yeah.
Even if it's interesting, I just start. Yeah. But they are, I'm glad they're cold and not hot, but I always got to remember to bring a big sweater, like bring a sizable sweater. Don't just bring like a tiny little thing because the room is cold, and it is for a reason, because we'd be miserable if we were hot. Hot sucks. Sweating, being hot sucks. Mm-hmm. So
it's easier to protect you when you're tired, though. They probably suck people out of the audience.
Yeah. Oh, we went, what else they have too, which no one else probably knows but me and my kids, is there's a bowling alley upstairs. It's a little miniature kids bowling alley. There's
Aw,
arcade
wow.
games. You can rent an escape room. We almost did the escape room, but we had already just spent $50 in the arcade. I was trying to have a budget, but and then the swimming pools, which are like 4 foot deep, and you can just like float out there and get stupid expensive cocktails all day long, which is super fun. And we all look like we were in the sun. But you know what I love is the shopping. I like walking around shopping and talking to people, which is why Deb was at the table, because you know why? That's a fun place to be though, because you're talking to everyone that's passing by, you know, and like if you want to talk to people, sit at a table. Like just if you see an empty one, like with Bledsoe's name, just move it and sit down. People will talk to you. People will just
I
start
didn't go
talking
to
to you.
one talk the whole time I was there. I didn't go
If
to
someone's
one
not at the table, just throw their name, sit down and start talking to people, and you're gonna just have a great time.
and don't expect to talk to some of these presenters that are UFO stars, because they just may ignore you in the elevator. I mean, you know, you're going to have all kinds of people.
Yeah.
You mean
went
Chris
to
Bledsoe?
3 of them, and they just walked right past me like I was invisible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Chris
Exactly.
Bledsoe wouldn't give us the time of day. So,
Yeah.
not that I said anything to him, but Mary did, and he just looked at her like this and went,
And
"And I
ignore
was
me.
saying the other day that you know that you don't believe my way, then you don't believe anything, or something like that."
Yeah.
So,
So it was a really, you know, it's almost like a microcosm of everything that's going on in the country right now, because you
Sure.
have your people that are really lovely people, and you're going to have your jerks too. It's just the way life is.
Yeah.
That's everywhere.
Yeah. So so Contact was like a microcosm of everything that's going on. And, you know, if you have to look at it that way, because, you know, we're all just human.
Yeah.
And it was also another fun thing
We
that
are?
happened. There
there
the
were some
ones that we
hybrids,
talked to.
some hybrids in the room.
Yeah.
It's
What
been more
we
than
sat
that.
down at this one time, and this guy sat down and he introduced himself as an ex-FBI guy. And I said,
Oh my God, that guy came up to me
"Oh."
somewhere too and was like, "Hello." Well, I mean, it might be someone else. You continue, sorry, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
About
And so I thought it was really interesting, and we had but I knew his name. He went to introduce himself, and I knew his name before he even told it to me. It was a lot of weird stuff like that went on at Contact. And he told us the reason that he never became CIA is because you can retire from the FBI, but you can never leave the CIA. And they're kind of like the mob. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's true. That wasn't Ben Hansen, was it? That did the night.
No, his name was Bruce.
Oh.
good day, Bruce.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I have a client that was here yesterday that's retired from the FBI, and she's about 10 feet tall like I am. So, you know, she's realizing she has gifts, and a lot of people start off there, but there's people kind of coming out of the 9-to-5 world, or I don't know. I'm not sure exactly about the world, and they're kind of struggling with, are they crazy or not? And the younger people are more attuned to it. But it's funny, when I was going to the Congress, it was more serious. And I think they were gearing it, you know, CJ would have probably fainted or something there, but, you know, to more like, you know, like trying to stay a little more scientific, nuts and bolts. And then the first time I came to Contact, and I avoided it when it was at the other place, because it sounded like there were bunk beds and it was like 100 degrees and it sounded kind of like a little bit of a nightmare. But when I went to this one, there were like girls dressed like, I don't know, like Xena from Xanu.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few of those. Yeah. She
How
was
about
selling the headdresses and
the people in the Gestapo uniforms too? Were interesting.
Yeah, the UFO
boots
cult
and-
or whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but yeah, they're.
You don't
The
want
Space
to know.
Force. They're the Space Force.
Oh, that's right. I did hear
Is that
from
their
someone.
name? Space Force is their
Space
name?
Force, and they live near
Ah.
Oh,
Trotman.
well,
They
you
do.
know, they were created by Donald Trump, so that was cool.
Oh, yikes.
He
These are
started
their very
Space Force,
own,
right?
or the
Yeah.
Federation, right? Space Force or the Space. I
Yeah,
don't know.
something like that. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
we
but
called them
they
for
and they all
years,
wear the
so.
black outfits.
It lends so much credibility to what everyone here is all about.
I know.
I
and
know
that's
it's a wide swath.
Sorry.
one of the members of Sarah, Yvonne's group, Yvonne Smith. She said, yeah, I saw somebody and they were dressed like an alien and something else. And she said, I was mad. Are they making fun of us? And I said,
No,
you know,
they believe it.
yeah, like if you go to Roswell or McMinnville, the UFO Fest, they have like full on, you know, goofy parades where everybody dresses their dogs up like Princess Leia and stuff. But I think it's because it breaks the tension, you know, like if you're creeping in kind of like, I've never been here and I don't want anybody to know I'm here. And, you know, you see some of that, you can go, oh, well, haha. But then if you're like us, you know, you're taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted.
Earl said McMinnville was his favorite one, and I think that's more like what I'd like to do, because I can't like go to a bunch of UFO festivals every year, but maybe in a year or two I'll go to McMinnville, and then a year or two maybe I'll
that
do
one sounds
Roswell.
interesting and fun.
Yeah, let
What,
me know.
McMinnville?
We should all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
'Cause
McMinnville.
I want to go there too. I missed
I
it.
tell you, though,
Where is that?
It's up in Oregon.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's
It's
kind
a
of
nice little town.
east of there, and it's funny because our farm is in Sheridan that my mom grew up in. It's like 12 miles from there, but it's kind of like going to some of the old town centers. You know how, like in Ventura, how you get that old. It's something like that. It's more quaint, and they've got one. I think it's a senior center hall, and people, you know, you will see like people dressed like Men in Black in the audience, and they get really good speakers, you know, real interesting. They're right there at the table, and you know, it's more intimate. And sometimes I think they'll try out it's like going to a comedy club where someone on TV will try out their stuff, you know.
Sure.
Sometimes
Whitley would be brilliant at that, because if you want to
he's
make
so
light
funny.
of this
He's probably
stuff,
been there.
There's no better person to make light of this stuff. And you know, I've spent years with him and long trips with him and everything, and the jokes he tells just floor me.
Yeah.
And it does lessen the tension. So
yeah,
you have to be able to joke about it, because really, honestly, this whole thing is so ridiculous, and it's just about to explode after Spielberg's movie comes out. So it's really going to be.
I got my tickets.
Yeah.
You got them in advance. You said just walk up.
Well, yeah. Well, I went to Fandango this afternoon and decided just go ahead and buy them.
Yeah, because you know you're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
It'll.
I wish I lived close to you guys so we could all like go together, but I'm out.
Yeah,
here,
that would be great.
Yeah.
Or if it was streaming.
I wish I had the money. I'd just buy a ticket and fly your ass out here. So, you know,
It's a little pricey right
You
now.
guys
in a
need a
perfect
wealthy.
world.
You
In a
guys
perfect
need one of those wealthy benefactors that I hear some of the UFO folks get.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I never
Somebody
get
who
any.
is just a sycophant with a big old wallet who's just like, what do you need? What can I buy you?
I remember this one guy. He was with Experiencer, and he was like a producer, and he seemed like Bob or something. I was kind of like, but he was the one with the money. I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if what do you owe that person?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't.
Well,
But
on
yeah,
the flip
it's
side, I
wild.
don't owe anybody anything, so there's that.
True.
It's so wild
There
to
you
see
go.
too all these people from cross sections of the UFO universe that you see online. You know, so someone's sending you with this video and that video, and you know, and then they're just walking past you constantly.
Yeah. That was the best part, is the people, the experiencers that you meet, and the stories, and you get to sit right in front of them. They have, you know, if it was up to me, I'd have an event that was just experiencers and no presenters, and just meeting and talking.
Yeah.
Because that's the part I love the best.
So awesome.
Yeah. The groups, I don't usually go to the experiencer sessions, but I did catch one of them. And even that's interesting because you see people talking for the very first time, like they're nervous, and then they find,
Yeah.
like one girl was talking about marks on her, I think on her arm. And she said they're deep and they're kind of specific. And I had like 6 pictures of that on my phone that I was able to show her from different clients. And
Yeah.
yeah, and you start to go, oh, and then Greg Bishop, he's did this talk on art that experiencers have created. And he was talking about how that barrier of everything through a lens, like it's either filmed, it's recorded, they're trying to separate science away from the experiencer. And they've been doing that for the longest time. And yet, if you experience it, you really get it. And he showed a picture of this figure, and it looked a lot like what Joe Stillwell described on that trip up to Mammoth that you guys were going to make another episode about. It's,
I want to do that.
yeah, but I was like, oh, because it looks sort of mummy-like. And you'll see the strangest correlations. It's interesting, but it's comforting too. Yeah, because I have my stuff, but a lot of people have stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's everybody's different in it, and they perceive it differently, and it happens to them differently.
Yeah.
And it's, I can't wait till next Thursday to see that movie.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, what I know about it, it's people are going to go in for a nice joyride movie, and they're going to come out very different from the way they came in. I'll just put it that way.
We can
Yeah.
only hope. We can only hope that
It's
would happen.
starting. It feels like it's hitting critical mass because that friend of mine that's a filmmaker, she made a short film called Frequency, frequency based on a hybrid that approached her after a film festival. And it's fictionalized, but she'd like to make that into a feature. And then I was talking to another filmmaker, Courtney something, when Mary and Steve showed up. And
Yeah, we talked a long time. Yeah.
yeah, in her film, she made a short one called Alienation, about a girl.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And then, Dean Alioto, his film with Deb in it, and Travis Walton and Whitley Strieber. I mean, it had like old home, Terry Lovelace, but it's like these are getting out there. And I think more people are, at least they have decent stuff to look at. It's not like that formula of, they show the person, then they make them look crazy. This is what Deb lived through. And then they bring on the skeptic, and then, that everybody can go, oh, haha, that was interesting.
That's exactly what we do here, and have been doing for 3 years. And we've done more film than on the subject than just about anybody. And it's the least seen because we don't look for funding, and we don't ask Netflix to put it on. And because we're not doing this for the money. Everyone else is doing it for the money. I mean, let's be honest. All those filmmakers you talked about, they've all got a stake in the cash. And or so little Breaking the Silence, who's hardly seen, is bringing forward people just like you're talking about, Kim, over and over again. We have some new people coming forward who are shy, but they really want to get this over with. It's this time. They don't care what people think of them anymore. They just got to get off their chest, and they're going in front of our camera, and they're telling their story and then bringing their story to life. And I just wish there was some way that more people could see it without making a deal with Netflix. And they always they make trailers that are like Spielberg's early trailers for Day of Disclosure, which were all shock and fear and blah, blah, blah in your face. And then finally we get the final trailer, and we get Steven talking about, and he said it in his interviews, he doesn't care about the money. He's doing this for us. In so many words, that's what he's saying. And so, but he can do that.
Yeah.
Wish I had that ability to make something about the subject and have that many people see it. I would do it for free.
Yeah, you're hitting. I think, though, you're kind of building such a body of work. You're going to hit critical mass, and people, once they find one, they'll find the rest. And
But they are.
Your video up front of this is just beautiful. I mean, really nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's how I feel about the whole subject.
Yeah.
It's intimate. It's got an edge of empathy to it that's
and that's really what it's all about, is empathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the trailer that you did in the very beginning. I was watching that and I'm like,
me too.
Oh, that's so familiar.
Oh, really?
It's been around for a while. I did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it was coming to pick us all up, but I would have gone. It looks so nice.
Yeah.
I think you already have. You just are back again.
Yeah. It just looked really familiar to the one that I saw when, I was a kid at summer camp that came over. And that was like one of my very first experiences.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
So who's next?
I think we made the rounds. You know who's next?
Erin, did you talk?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
It's your turn, Steve.
My turn, huh?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
really
What did
want to
you?
hear what I think? You know
Yeah,
how
I
am.
think we do.
This
I
should
think
be
we do.
short.
Okay. It will be short. Because
This will
Mary
be
knows-
brief, I'm sure.
For you, CJ, absolutely. Well, yeah, it will be brief. Mary said most of it. Mary said most of it. I didn't do anything except sit in the lobby and have amazing conversations with people I don't know, but they knew me because they watched the show, and they were incredibly kind, incredibly shy. And, I'd say, sit down, talk. Oh, and you could tell they were scared, and some of them did. And then they would gush about how honored they were to be able to sit in my presence and talk to me. And I said, look, I'm honored to be in your presence. Don't do I'm just like you. Don't put me on a pedestal. And they would relax. And that was amazing. That's the main reason I went. And then I wasn't going to go to any of the lectures or any of those things. And I didn't go to any experiencer groups or any of that stuff. I didn't go to anything except Whitley said, oh, I'd really like you to be in my talk. And he gave one. When was that? Saturday, Mary? I think it was Saturday. That was this one.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
He spoke in a different panel each day. So it's
but
I
this
don't know.
particular one was a very good one. And I'm sorry you guys missed it because it was something. And he insisted that Mary and I be in there. So he told the
I think
people
it was Friday.
He told the people there to let us in because I hadn't bought a ticket for that.
Yeah, because
our
I
very
think that was a
expensive
paid
pass
workshop.
covered everything but certain events. So that was sweet of him, and we put us up front. And then he made jokes about me and told the audience how to tease me, and then he had me stand up, which was kind of embarrassing. And everybody was really nice. And then we just sat there and listened to him, and it was great. I mean, I know him so well. And then every once in a while he'd ask me something, and wasn't that back and when and this and that, and I'd say yeah, and that kind of thing. And then Nova was sleeping the whole time through it, and then he pointed out the dog because he was using her as a reference point to how we are different from other animals. That Nova wouldn't understand certain things that we understand, and he says, "What was her name?" And I said Nova, and then Nova heard it and kind of woke up and sat up. And that was all very sweet. And then I watched Whitley afterwards outside with a whole bunch of people around him, and he was so sweet. And
Yeah, he's one of the good guys. I mean, he would sit in the lobby and talk.
He sat in the lobby and talked to people. I didn't see anybody else do that. Out of the, as Deb calls them, the UFO stars, they would kind of do their thing and disappear up the stairs, or they'd be at a dinner event or something like that, but they didn't mingle with the people that put them there.
Yeah.
And that's my observation, and I'm not going to say much more about it. So moving on to more interesting things. I'm
Well,
just
I've
going
heard that from a few people, Steve. I mean, I've heard several people say that they don't feel the speakers are as accessible as they should be to the crowds that have paid to be at the conventions at Contact.
Yeah.
It's very easy for them to just travel in back halls and not even, like you don't even see them in the hallway.
Yeah.
You're like, how'd they get here?
Well, I watched Chris Ramsey, who sat in the lobby a whole bunch, and Area 52,
he was out there.
Area 52 is a pretty big
Yeah.
deal and everything, but I don't think many people knew who he was, and he seemed kind of down. And then when he saw George Knapp going up the stairs, and George was holding this gray alien that was 3D printed, he ran up the stairs and made a big old fuss, and George was his typical self. Hi, he's real standoffish. I mean, I was on a show with him years ago, and I walked over to him and I said, George, we're on the show together. And I said, just want to say how much I appreciate your work. And it's like I said a dirty word to him or something. He was so cold. And I saw it happen again. And that wasn't cool, I didn't think.
No.
But something did happen to me in the lobby while I was talking to Melinda. And who else was there when this happened?
Oh, everybody was there. I think.
Well,
Kim
not
was
everybody,
across-
but
I mean, everybody here.
Were
Susan
they?
was there. Kim was across from you, I think.
I don't think
I
anyone
saw
else
you do
noticed
a
it, but
double.
Melinda.
I was
But
at
I
the
don't
book
think you
table.
guys have seen this. So rather than tell you what happened, I'll show you what happened. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. I attended Contact in the desert. I was visiting with my friends sitting in the lobby, and we were talking about the subject matter that we all like to talk about on this channel. And as I was talking to my friend Melinda. I don't even remember what I was describing. But then, all of a sudden, I started getting this funny feeling. And what happened next was something I wasn't prepared for, nor was this the place to have it happen. And Melinda noticed it. I suddenly had this vision. It overpowered me. It was very clear. And I saw the sky ripping apart. It looked like a rip. It got wider and wider, and suddenly little glowing objects came out of it. I got the feeling that these were craft. They felt like saucers glowing with a lot of energy around them. I knew that I had to stop this because I was getting emotional and I was in a crowded, very busy lobby. And to stop it caused me a lot of headache, a lot of pain and pressure in my head. I know that the Greys had something to do with this. And it might mean that something very much like what I saw is coming soon.
Wow.
Yeah, and I really haven't been right since. So that happened, and I got really emotional. I started crying, and my head hurt, and Melinda noticed it because it kind of took my breath away. I mean, I guess you guys know what it's like. You're sitting there talking away to somebody, and it's like all of a sudden this vision, and it's like it's in here, but it's like it's out here. I can't describe it. And it's like, why the hell was I seeing that at that moment in time? And I really don't think that the visitors get it sometimes. I think, hey, I'm with friends and stuff. This is not the time to throw this stuff at me. But they did it. And so, that put me in a state of mind that I just stayed in the lobby the rest of the the trip and just talked to amazing people. And I was really grateful for that. And that was my experience at Contact in the Desert.
Wow. I think too, though, when you're around more people that have experiences, more interesting things like that happen. It's like the compounding of the energy field or something. But yeah, I mean, I want to see that. It sounds interesting. But wow, I love that you can illustrate that.
Well, yeah, all those years working in Hollywood doing visual effects and having all the toys to do it with allows me to do that. It gives me an advantage. It's funny you brought up, who was the guy you went to the lecture of?
Oh, Greg Bishop?
Greg Bishop. I got an email from him, and before that time, and he's doing some art show on the subject matter, and it's out in Burbank, and he's going to be coming by next week to pick up some art from me. But I found it interesting because I heard a little bit about him that he didn't talk about my artwork, and I've done so much film and almost a feature-length film. We spent a lot of money on it, and all those drawings for Yvonne and all the drawings I did before Yvonne, and I was putting art out of things I was seeing, and it really affected everything back in the 90s. I mean, you would see it in so many things because my work was on sightings and all that stuff. And yet there's people that kind of consider them historians on this stuff. They never remember the art I did. I don't know what that's all about, but maybe it's just I'm not loud enough and bodacious enough.
Well,
but that's not my character to do that.
You haven't promoted it, so.
Well, I mean, like even Yvonne's latest book, or both of her latest books, have my art all through it, and the book that she had at Contact has got my cover on it, and a chapter, and the artwork inside.
Wow.
And yet, so many people, it's interesting.
Do you know, it's funny. I have had the experience like when I was with my friend and Bob Salas in Maryland before he died. And we took a picture, and it's almost like there's a cloud over me. And I've taken a couple other ones, and I used to joke that I was invisible. But sometimes I think it's like we don't kind of get into the consciousness if, like if there's going to be some problem with it. I don't know how to say that.
Thought of that.
Yeah, but
they let me take pictures of you. They don't cloud you. No, it's okay if Steve takes a picture of her.
Yeah, I guess so. It's really funny. Maybe I got to clean my lens on my camera or something.
I don't know. Maybe they should. Yeah, I don't know.
But Greg, I was talking about that thing he showed Mary's room where, they're measuring experiences with equipment, and they're not really talking to the people that have the experience. And that's where everything comes together. And
those people are too woo.
Yeah. But he showed a bunch of artwork, and he's kind of curmudgeon-y too. Like I remember back in the day, like MUFON, when he spoke, they said, I think you were too negative on, experiencers issues. And I didn't think so. It's just, he's kind of analytical, but he's also seen a craft but he seems to have really moved over into this art territory. And I'm quite sure he'd probably include your stuff if he does this lecture more.
Well, yeah, that's up to him.
Next chapter is this.
Which that?
His next chapter is the artwork of experiencers and kind of what they have to say, and you would really figure heavily in that, I would think.
Yeah, well, he's coming by the studio, so
we'll
have a chat.
Good.
And I'm going to do my own art book because I've done so much work for so long, and there are literally 100 paintings out there somewhere of my artwork because I gave them all to someone. when my wife went psychotic practically and demanded I get out of this whole thing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and so they were all given away, and I don't know where they are to this day. But I have photographs of everything, and of course, I've been consistently doing more and more work, plus all the films.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be neat to package those up into one thing. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see. I'm not dead
Steve?
yet. Yeah.
I want to let you know that one of your pictures really left an indelible print in my mind from Yvonne's lectures from last year.
Mhm.
And that was the three beings at the window.
Mm.
3 beings at the window.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it was yours. 'cause
I
you
don't
said
think
it
that
before
was.
me.
I don't think that was. I don't remember
Hmm.
doing one with 3 beings at the window.
You know,
I'll have to
and
go back and look at it.
This one, I don't know if she still uses it or not, but this
She
one
did.
is
Yeah.
yeah. And for me, that's out of all things I've done, this really looks the most like them. They're painfully thin. They don't make any sense at all. They're just really. I think they're kind of beautiful. But there you go.
the podcast that
Thank
the
you.
last one
Erin.
I did with you, there you did put 3 beings at the window.
I did.
The one when I was in the crib and then I got regressed. And
Well, maybe that was. Let's see, because I do art in 3D and I also illustrate by hand. So
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
think
think
it was
about
an
those.
illustrated by hand because it looked like a graphite
Mm.
picture.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, thank you.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe you channeled it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're at the hour. Does anybody have anything more they'd like to share that
Please do.
I would
say pick another convention and let's all try to hook up in like a year and a different one and try to have all the experiences.
Yeah.
It's gonna make them build.
Thank you, Susan.
This
That's
is the
cool.
birthday card that I got from Mary. She hand did this
Wow.
birthday. And then
So cute.
this is thank you, Mary. I loved it. And this is
I want to
from
thank Mary in the
Benno from
comments for
Oz.
recommending me. Thank you, Mary.
And thank you for the pen too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
that
are
was very
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah, really nice. But
As a
yeah,
matter of fact, I had so many compliments on the pen everywhere I went. Everybody noticed the pen. It was
Yes.
kind of amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it was a beacon.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It is.
Watch
pretty
BTS.
cool.
I do want to share something real
Come
quick.
to Oregon. I would
Yes,
love to
yes,
I
come.
woke up
Deborah.
with a weird bruise
I
on
would.
my arm one day while I was there, and I'm just curious if other people did too. And you can still see it even 4 or
wow.
5 days later. Same place.
Yes, Mike. I did do Spock's ears.
So
Yeah.
Someone
Food for thought.
realized I did Spock's ears.
You know,
I've been printing a lot, and here's one of the guys. I sculpt these, so the things you see in the films, I actually can also print out. This is from the Outer Limits, and I've been really enjoying that. And I'm going to be doing a lot of sculpture on this subject and printing them out, and even making them available. So
Wow.
for people who would like to have them. Oh wow!
Cool.
That's from
This is from
James.
James Pike. I have
Oh
it.
wow!
cut
James.
at the one I went to the last time.
Nice.
I know you said you had the bruise, but I did.
love it.
Oh.
I love it. It's really cool. No.
Yeah, well, a lot of strange things happened. Even in our room, we were having visions. So
Well, that's another hour.
Yeah, really.
You know,
So it
I
was
did as
really
well.
interesting.
In the dark, there was like this purple
There you
plasma
go.
mass that was moving around. Yeah, I completely
Mm.
forgot about that until you said that. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it was quite the experience. And
We
I
need
was
to talk.
honored to share it all with you
Hey,
guys.
Steve.
I know.
Yay, it was great to
And
see you.
all of you as well. It was great to see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Love
for
you.
having me.
Love you bunches.
Thanks, guys.
Live long and prosper.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good to
Good
see
night.
everybody again.
Love you guys. I love you all.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Wow. That was
fun. Mm-hmm.
That was.
Oh,
Deb, you were
what a
better
trip.
than
It was so fun because everybody was so kumbaya, and then we actually started getting into it. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
so good.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Night.
I'll see you
Bye-bye.
in November, I'm sure.
Absolutely. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
For Earl's thing, I'll
Yes.
see you there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how far away Studio City is, but we may stay up in Ventura.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
not
It's an
sure.
hour. It's an hour.
Oh, then maybe it would be cool to come back and stay where we stayed last time. Okay. Well, I'll think
Yeah.
about that. Yay.
No,
I'll get
well,
to
we
see
could go, maybe we could go together.